Hello all. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. Please come and sit down at the table so we can try to finish as early as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, William, and welcome back. As I indicated before lunch, I did I will say, quick summary of where we are with the different views with regards to the terms of reference of the advisory and auxiliary body. I strongly believe that we're very close in terms of the views and the impressions. And now I will like to open the floor to see if there are additional comments, questions, interventions from council members with regards to what we were discussing.
Sione, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairman, for giving me the floor. It seems that the rest of the council is still trying to settle in with a very nice lunch. I'll take the opportunity to say something from the Pacific constituency. In terms of the DOR, for the advisory committee, it's very important from our perspective to be understand on the intention of that committee. With our understanding, is more like to have a group of expertise that they will come up with strategies and all the work plan to attract financial and other contributors from all aspects of this committee, and I think it's very important. But how I see it, that the resolution was given to them is more like a maybe for a call to a council to establish that very important body to assist with the council. In the point of if we think this body with their core function is to attract more donors or more fund or more resources to bring in to GEF to help us, especially in the developing countries where LDCs and seeds are based on. And I think it should be considered very important of this committee to be established, because this is where they will bring us more contribution to consider the size of the cake that we are trying to discuss to help us finance our projects. In terms of the auxiliary committee, for us also it's very important to consider the proposition of the members. From our perspective, we need to be more fair and well representative in terms of how we can define biodiversity in this body. I can sense this week in the discussing the importance of integration of inland biodiversity and marine biodiversity. And in that spirit, if we come to consider the members, it should be a representative of very technical people. The reason why I make it strong, the technical expertise, because it can be minimized of people being selected coming with a political agenda to this committee. And in that sense, those technical people can come up with a very scientific advice and recommendation to our council. And the reason why I want to be stressed the importance of fair contribution and representative in terms of inland biodiversity and marine diversity. Because in that, for example, like our constituency, most of our island, small states are in the ocean. So considering the representative in this committee or in this body, they should be fairly discuss all projects that come from inland biodiversity and marine diversity. Thank you, Chairman.
Would anyone else like to take the floor? I'm just checking if we have anybody on the.
Thanks, William. I will ask again if anyone wants to address the floor on this agenda item. Okay, so since there is no possibility to generate an agreement on this agenda item, and based on the rules of procedure of the GEF Council, Article 24, which I will read it, says, any item included on the agenda for a meeting of the council, consideration of which has not been completed at the meeting, shall, unless the council decides otherwise, be automatically included on the provisional agenda for the next meeting. And this is what precisely we will be doing at the Secretariat. Having said this, I also would like to clarify all council members that the fact that there is no consensus agreement on this agenda item doesn't limit the Secretariat capacities to put together the decisions that were taken, the 3 previous decisions that were taken in these funds. So we are fully operational, and this is what we will proceed. Also, I would like to inform that all council members that as soon as we conclude this week's work, me and the Secretariat will be working on a daily basis on these agenda items that continues to be open. We were able to recollect quite a good, a set of good observations where I believe there is consensus with regards to the virtuality, with regards to the rotation, and I will begin earlier than normally, that what we normally do, doing the consultation and the exchanges of the documents. I fully believe that we should be very, very clear that we are in excellent capacities to operationalize the fund. And I truly believe that we will have our first work from for this new fund in June. So thank you so much for this. With this, I conclude this agenda item, which, just give me a second. Which will conclude our first GBFF council meeting. And now, well, we still have the other businesses on this council, but correct me if I'm wrong, William, we didn't have any requests for any subject on other business when we approve the agenda. So with this, I will conclude the first session of the GBFF. And now we will begin agenda item number 8, which is a summary of the co-chairs.
Yeah, in fact, since now we know what's going to happen, we will prepare the summary of the co-chairs of the GBFF while we look at the summary of the co-chairs of the GEF Trust Fund Council and of the LDCCF. So let's start with those while we prepare the final version of the GBFF summary of the co-chairs. So let's take the summary of the co-chairs of the trust fund, of the GEF Trust Fund. I circulated a corrected version. Thank you to all of you who helped us notice what had to be corrected. And as we usually do, we'll go by the first section, the 3 paragraphs together, and then decision by decision. So first up is paragraphs 1 to 3, which are the opening, adoption of the agenda. I see nobody requesting the floor. Decision number 1 on the GEF monitoring report. Decision number 2 on the work program of the GEF Trust Fund. That takes us down to paragraph 55. So paragraph 56 is decision 3 on streamlining of the GEF project cycle. Decision 4 on UNDP 2023 third-party review of minimum fiduciary standards. Decision number 5 on tracking and measuring socioeconomic co-benefits of GEF investments. Decision 6 on risk appetite. Decision 7, management response to the IEO strategic country cluster evaluation, GEF support to dryland countries. Sorry, Abigail, you have the floor.
Sorry, on the decisions related to the project cycle streamlining, and then also the gap analysis for the fragility, conflict, and the social inclusion, there was a long discussion about inserting the phrase taking into account ongoing efforts to enhance coordination and harmonization across the climate and environment funds.
And we did.
We didn't see it. In
Which decision would that be?
in decision 3. Streamlining the GEF project cycle. It was supposed to be in the working group decision. It's in.
I understand. I'm just checking with Claude, but I got what you mean. Yes, because I know we put it in the other ones, but we might have missed it on this one. So if we did, we'll put it in. Yeah. So we will certainly correct that and add the appropriate sentence to reflect that idea. All right, which was the last one? I think 6, risk appetite we'd seen. Dry lands, yes. Number 8, management response to evaluation of community-based approaches. Number 9, learning from challenges in GEF projects. Number 10, management response to evaluation of GEF support to climate information and early warning systems. Decision 11, on GEF funded activity and engagement in fragility, conflict, and violence affected states. Decision 12, GEF gap analysis on GEF policies. Oh, sorry, Richard, you requested the floor.
Thank you. Just in relation to decision 11,
Yes.
we provided some suggested text changes to that. First of all, the language doesn't quite make sense, and we suggested removing the text. The GEF Council takes note of the gap analysis because it's just repetitive of what the previous bit of the sentence already says. And the second bit is on the fourth line, maybe it's the accountant in someone, it says amortization rather than harmonization.
But did you look at the last version I sent?
Oh, there's an updated version.
Yeah, because at lunch, we corrected all these things, which.
Oh, my apologies. I'm looking at the
Okay.
earlier version.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine. I understand. We sent it while you were having lunch, and so you didn't get a chance to to look at that detail. But several pointed that out to us, so we did correct it. Anyway, I'll continue, and if you find something else, we can come back to it. So decision 12, the gap analysis of GEF policies and key social inclusion issues. Decision 13, relations with conventions and other international institutions. Decision 14, BBNJ, I'll make it short, BBNJ. Decision 15, amendments to the rules of procedure. Decision 16, arising from the report to the Selection and Review Committee. Lauren, yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's regarding decision 15. The document was revised, but I can't see it on the website. So we haven't been able to look at it.
Okay, we're putting it up.
Thank you.
Yes. The second decision from the report of the Selection and Review Committee, which is the appointment of Gita Batra as the successor to Juha. And finally, other business, which is the dates for 2025 meetings. All right. Let me then take the summary of the co-chairs for the LDCF-SECF Council. The opening of the meeting is and adoption of the agenda is the first 3 paragraphs. Then we have decision 1 on the work program. Decision 2, the annual monitoring review. Decision 3, progress report of the Least Developed Countries Fund and Special Climate Change Fund. And the others are procedural paragraphs. Okay, I see no comments, so just give us a couple of minutes to see if we can send out the summary. Oh, sorry, Laura, you want to have the floor, please.
I do want to take the microphone on behalf of the SRC and the council to congratulate Ms. Gita Batra on the decision taken yesterday. Thank you very much, Gita, for your hard work. We are sure you're going to continue that work and bring even more great things for the GEF and to GBFF and funds and family of funds.
Okay, just give me a couple of minutes. I'll send out the summary of the co-chairs of the GBFF so you can have a look at it. Okay, I've sent out to all of you, hopefully the email will arrive quickly. The document containing the summary of the co-chairs of the GBFF Council. Okay, do you feel we can go ahead with this? Some of you haven't received it. I sent it individually to Laura, who says she hadn't received it. Anybody else hasn't received it? Got it. Okay, let's start. And if anybody has a comment, we can always come back. So the first three paragraphs are the opening of the meeting and the adoption of the agenda. And then we have the first decision approved was on the policy and allocation of resources for the GBFF. Decision 2 was the GBFF project cycle policy. And decision 3 was the administrative budget. Anil, you requested the floor.
I think in the decision 3, we should include a line on developing a financial management manual for the fund. It's critical. I'm sorry. It was agreed upon.
Would you mind repeating so that chairs can hear your proposal?
Yeah, I think under the decision 3, have another line of inclusion of development of a financial management manual or guidelines for the fund.
Perhaps the issue is a trustee issue because we don't do the fiduciary control of this. That's up to the trustee to do. So it's not, either that or misunderstanding your proposal. Why don't you send us a specific text? Maybe that will wake us up. Look, normally when we come to this point in any council session, the decisions have already been taken and they are not reopened. What we can do is put your suggestion in the highlights and then it can be recorded as such. But this particular proposal, as we understand it, did not have unanimous or consensus around the table. And therefore, it's better if we put it in the highlights and you can always look at it again in the future as necessary. But still send me the sentence so I can put it correct. I can reflect it correctly in the highlights. All right, sorry to keep you all waiting, but we just had to check that we had done everything as well as we could. So if there are no further comments, the three summaries of the co-chairs are approved, and I give the floor back to the chair for closing.
Thanks, William, and thanks to everyone here for being able to finish the revision of the summary of the co-chairs from the three council meetings that we went through this week. I want to join the solicitation from Laura Aguirre for celebrating the appointment of Gita Batra. We're delighted by that decision of the council. Very happy. Congratulations, Gita. I want to conclude the GEF 66 GEF Council meeting, 35th LDCF SCCF meeting, and the first GBFF Council meeting. I'm extremely grateful with all council members, alternate support staff, agencies, observers, GEF Secretariat, and all the friends of the GEF, particularly the hard work that we've been doing with the CBD Secretariat and David Cooper. Thanks to you and your team for the fabulous work. I think that we have accomplished a lot. And as I said in my introductory remarks, now we need to concentrate in the capitalization of the GBFF. The capitalization of the GBFF is not in a capitalization of a fund, as I mentioned it before. It's not for us, it's for the future generations. And we had a historical responsibility to be able to move forward a decision that was complex, a very complex decision on how we proceed by mobilizing financial resources from all sources. The GEF is taking very seriously target 18 and 19 of the new framework. And we believe that we have a strong role in creating the capacities, creating the political enabling conditions. So we all, in a joint effort, address the most challenging element, which is the global finance gap. And challenge and narrowing the global financial gap in climate, in CBD, requires a lot of coherence in efforts associated to, one, mapping and addressing the phasing out of subsidies, perverse incentives, and policies on one side, and on the other, mobilizing resources from all sources, as clearly is stated in the Target 19. So I want to thank you once more to everybody for all the hard work throughout this week. And as we normally do, we celebrate the conclusion by giving a big round of applause to everyone. This is like my third time that I say goodbye to our dear friend, William. William has been working extra in helping us do the transition from his role and his position towards a new secretary of the council. We already appointed a new person, and William has been helping us in this transition from his position to the new position. The new person will be announced in a couple of months at least. This person knows very well the GEF and even had a GEF council position in the past. So I believe that we will be building on the leadership and the legacy of William. William will be here a couple of more months helping us on this transition, but I think it's a good opportunity to give the floor to William, somebody that we all care, that we all admire, and most importantly, that we all love. Thank you, William. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you all for your kindness, Carlos Manuel, and all the council members. It's been a very good run. I never expected I was going to work for an international organization, much less for one that I had helped create. And I was re-meeting again with a dear friend who has been in GEF issues even longer than I have. And that's Mahana Waga from UNDP that everybody knows as Gugu. But she started in 1989 and she was still here. But I also remember Monique Baru and Hans-Peter Schupule, who were the original authors of this idea. And I know he lives in your building, Annette, or very close to you. So send him my regards. He probably won't remember my name, but he might remember the bothersome Uruguayan delegate. So it's really been a privilege. I've enjoyed it enormously. I've been able to do a lot of things, travel and see a lot of countries and projects. I've been able to work with you, your predecessors, and we've all become good friends. That's why we all refer to each other by first names, because it helps blend us and bond us and bind us together as we carry forward the achievement of global environmental benefits, which is, after all, the reason why we are here. So I wish you all the best. You might see me yet again as turning up as a bad penny or sitting in the background, but it's been my enormous pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, William.
Gracias, William. Gracias. No.
And as we normally do at the end, we do a family photo. So please, everyone, all of us, come over here to the head table so we can have our family photo of the GEF. Oh. Please come in, come over. Muchas gracias a todos.